Welcome everybody to the Voice Chat Podcast episode 12. My name is Maz from TheAMaazing.
I'm Laddi.
I'm Rushlight Invader.
I'm Daniel from Danplan. Whoa.
Welcome, Daniel. Well, initially we wanted to get all three, and then it went from 3 to 2, and I think it's now 2 to Daniel.
Just me, the best boy.
Just Daniel, the best.
Dan the man.
I think I am Team Daniel. I think. Like, hold on, let
Are
me
you?
check.
Are you Team Daniel?
Yeah.
I am on the server.
I think. Wait, I'm either Team Daniel or Team Hosa. Let me.
Oh man,
Can I be team all of them?
Yeah, that's a team.
So welcome to the podcast, Daniel, which you can listen to on a lot of platforms such as iTunes as well as YouTube. And there's also a Patreon, and we're going to thank the patrons at the end, but specifically Origami, because Origami is the best and deserves a shout out.
Yeah.
All right. So welcome to our little dainty little podcast. You picked an interesting time to hop on, which is, near Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently near Christmas, everything is coming up. Everything's happening. Yeah. I'm sure you've heard about a lot of things, including the freaking the rewind, huh?
Best video of the year.
The amazing YouTube rewind. So, all right, I'm gonna admit, I watched it first. I watched it as soon as it came out. I saw it on the YouTube front page, and I'm like, all right, I'll give it a watch. And initially, I watched it. I was like, okay. That wasn't as bad as last year's, That wasn't as bad as last year's. And then I went and watched last year's again, and I'm like, oh, never mind. No, I take it back. I take it all back, I take it all back. But, I'm curious to see, why you guys think it's, what you guys think about it. You guys might even like it. Who knows? I'm like, I don't want to taint your judgment,
Fortnite. Will Smith loves Fortnite. I can understand why. It's like that's genuine love for Fortnite I saw in his eyes.
Wait, you didn't like the Fortnite references?
No, I like when they were dancing in Suicide Force though. That was a cool reference.
Stop!
but no Ugandan knuckles. I'm sad day.
Oh, crap. No, the thing is, it's just that's fine, Ugandan knuckles is probably not gonna come on. Let's be honest. A little racist meme. Bongo Cat at least made it in.
Yeah, he got married. I'm jealous.
Wait,
of
what?
whom? The Bongo Cat or the girl?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted Bongo Cat to be in my bed sheets.
Stop.
No, I'm not a furry, guys. I'm sorry.
But so you didn't like it.
No.
What about Daniel and Laddi? What do you guys think?
You can go first.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't usually mind the YouTube rewinds. I don't mind most videos. But when it comes down to YouTube rewind, it was always something that I wanted to be part of. But now I just don't think I want to be part of it anymore. That's what it's come down to. I don't want to be part of it if it's gonna be like this from now on. You know what I mean?
Right.
That was my biggest
get
thing.
it.
Yeah.
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 For me,
I think it's
oh, you
go
can
on.
Okay. It felt really kind of corporate.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
If you compare it to YouTube Rewind 2012 and 2013, they actually I guess it's because times have changed with the whole ad apocalypse thing, but they weren't afraid in 2012 2013, and that's why they were some of the best rewinds, because they tried including literally everything that happened in YouTube, but this time there was nothing. They started with Will Smith, the face of YouTube, and then and then I don't know, some Fortnite, and then they just started getting all political, and I'm like, yeah, this is YouTube. The only part I liked was the animators part, but obviously I'm gonna like the animators part.
Okay, even that part I was
me
what's
too.
happening?
It was a bit.
They completely cut off Errol Story's part.
Everybody's part.
Oh,
Everyone got
so
shafted
bad.
so hard, dude. It was embarrassing. And it's even I love their individual animation. I've seen a lot of their animations and they were good, but a lot of it got cut off. So screw you, Rush. Your animations. What animation did you do? Shut up, all right. And similarly, it's in the campfire scene, Jaden looks so small and Errol looks so huge.
Yeah.
It's so bad. And you know what got me the most? You know what really annoyed me?
What
the
got your
most
goose?
About that? What got my goose?
Yeah.
Is that like in that scene in which they're like, you know, doing like, you know me, and they're like awkwardly stopping, and then Swoozie cringes. I'm like, are you cringing at your own video? Like, what is Rewind doing?
For real.
Their animators are
this-
awkward.
And like there was
Yeah.
significantly less amount of YouTubers this year.
Yeah.
Oh no, but that was by decision. That was by decision
Why?
though. Because remember last year how they had like 250 creators, and literally people would be there for like 2 frames, and it's like, all right,
Oh,
next.
that's true. But I kind of liked it with.
Oh.
I would prefer this year's kind of quaintness, you know, more exclusivity rather than last year's like chaos. You know, it was too chaotic.
Mm.
Because it makes it all the more special that a few of the animators were chosen into that 100. You know,
That's true.
I don't know. Like I liked it, but you know what I didn't like. It's like
Sonic.
you say it wasn't afraid, right? Sure. First of all, it was like they didn't even include some of the tinier memes. Like I know we're memeing about Uganda Knuckles, but where was Uganda Knuckles? Where was somebody touching my spaghetti?
Tide
Where
Pods.
was Johnny? You know where was? Well, okay, listen, they're not
Oh
gonna
my
add.
gosh.
They're not gonna add Tide Pods.
Aw, they're delicious. They're a healthy treat.
Daniel, where's your next video? We do the Tide Pod. We do the Tide Pod challenge. Come on, Daniel.
God damn.
You know, you have your orange pet, and now you have your Tide Pod pet. Okay,
Oh,
that's
the orange
Beautiful.
pet. That video was so bad. Oh,
that video was amazing. I love that video. You were like befriending the
was-
orange and everything.
it was so much fun to record it. I wish I could do more RL stuff though. Like, I don't like the fact that we're kind of stuck in this like animation platform kind of genre because I can't animate. Hosta can, and now
Yeah.
there's like a team of people that does it for me. But I feel like I lost the creative touch to it almost. So I want to do more RL stuff. I don't know. What do you do? Don't you guys want to do more RL stuff? I don't
No,
know.
I already do that stuff, so it's okay.
I
love
I
it.
know
Rush
Rush got it going.
I love them. They're so fun to
Rush's
do.
main thing is that he wants to do what he wants to do. You know, and I that's respectable. But I think dang, you know, I like that's a. What are you, the podcast host? That's such a good question. So, essentially, it's like I get what you're saying, right? And and the weird thing about us, and I look at all these weird analytical stuff. Like, do you know who Andre Turbia is?
Yes. The guy
He's
that
the
blew
one who
up
does
from
Logan
Logan
PewDiePie
Paul
and
and
stuff.
the fight.
Yeah.
Right. Now he's in a weird space where his content, people now watch for, like, you know, he was like, you know, people who don't watch Logan Paul will come back to me afterwards. But weirdly enough, the people who watch him are the ones who want beef about Logan Paul. You know, like people don't like. I don't think. Like whilst he's blown up in subscriber count, he doesn't have a core loyal fan base, you know, that's formed because of it. And similarly, there's like all these weird, like, you know, caveats that like other channels have done, like Sultan Sketches. He's doing more narrative driven things, and it's working real well. But I think he's now restricted to that specific style because of that's just how he's grown into, right?
The audience suspects it.
Yeah, he's gone into that kind of style.
Yeah.
And the interesting part for me is that we, as a genre, this entire animation thing is personality based, right? Like nobody cares about a moth, but when James does a story about a moth, everybody cares, right? Because it's James. That's his personality, and that's how the content works. And so it's interesting to see how people deviate from that norm. Like from you, what I kind of thought is that now that you're stuck into this and your personalities are gelled with this kind of formula, you're in a weird position currently, and I mean that currently, where I think if you did deviate like a lot, people wouldn't travel with you. But I think the concept that you do, which is of like, you know, the kind of hypothetical situation, is so loose that you could apply it to almost anything, and then you can probably do it on anything, right? Like, I'm sure if you were to meet up in real life, you can do a real life episode and it wouldn't detract from the quality whatsoever. You know what I mean?
So
right?
would you say
And
if somebody's starting YouTube channel, like if a new guy was like, oh, I'm gonna start a YouTube channel, should they be really scared of what kind of genre they pick to make, because they might be stuck with it for a really long time?
Maybe not scared, but definitely choose something in which they can maximize their fun out of. You know what I mean? Like I know, I don't want to call names, but there are a few of the animators who have blown up, but they don't really like doing the animated stories, and it's like, why did you do that? You know, like if you don't enjoy making it, then it's going to be hard for you to keep going, right? But also, Daniel, I think it's important to recognize that once you do get a certain level of personality, a certain level of clout, you can deviate and still have people follow you. Like Adam, he made it like a 20-minute video about the Marvel universe, and it's one of his best videos, you know. And similarly, James made a video literally reviewing PBS the kids shows, and people, like millions of people watched it, right? And so people do watch whatever you put out if you have the personality for it. And I do envy Danplan a lot, because the business model, the model that you guys have is that, you know, you make the story and you have so many animators that you can release weekly, and that's like, so I envy that a lot, right? But what I kind of don't envy, you know, if I were to switch my gears for a sec, is the fact that you do have a team. You know, I don't think you can do things solo anymore, really. Like for example, an episode with Daniel and Hosa and Laddi and Rush is not going to be the same. Like Steven's not there, and similarly, an episode without Hosa's art is not going to be the same, and an episode without your like hosting skills and that personality is also not going to be the same. It's now become a 3-man. Like, you need all 3 members, right? And so you're more restricted in that regards because you need all 3 people.
You know, I actually want more than 3 people to be part of the channel. Like, I never wanted it to be me.
Just you?
Like, yeah. That's what I always envisioned in my head about what my channel could be. It was originally like 10 people on the channel. If you were to ever go back and like oldest video, you know, that little button that you can click oldest videos. It was like 10 people on a gaming video where like everyone was just on there talking, and that's what I wanted, and that's what I still want. Like, I never want just 3. I don't care about me, quote unquote, getting the clout. I want everyone to be part of it, because in my head that's just, it's so much more fun that way. And I also want to get a house full of artists and creators that want to make YouTube videos, and all get together.
So you're saying 10 people?
Oh my god!
Is that what you're
Not
saying?
10. Stop. No, not 10. Just anyone. I don't care the amount. I just want it to be a vibrant kind of 20, 24. I was talking to. Actually, no, I shouldn't say that. Anyway, yeah, that's what I want. I want to do more stuff with more people. I never want to do stuff on my own, because I feel like there's a limit in creativity that way. You know what I mean?
Course.
I don't know.
No. That's completely understandable. It's
cough,
like,
cough. Everyone likes
but like,
me.
well,
Cough.
listen, you know, Laddi and Rush are free, you know.
Ooh-wee.
That's right.
Like, guys-
People love Laddi. People also loved Maz and Turtle. I don't know where Turtle is nowadays, but yeah.
Under his shell.
It's just like separate.
No,
but it's like,
yeah. People
What's
seem to
going on?
love new members in the Danplan crew. Like, whenever there's a collab, people always ask for more. There's never like, I don't want her ever again. There's always, oh, collab again. I want you guys to do this. I want you guys to do that, which I find amazing.
well, the thing is, like, okay, 2 things. First and foremost, you know, we're willing to move to Canada. And we'll talk about that, because I'm more interested in the house as well. But also, like, with that, why don't you just work with more people? You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing stopping you.
Well, one is just the trust part. Like, I don't know. I'm a very skeptical person when it comes to trusting people. But having people as guests is one thing. But being like, yo, this guy's a new member of our community is a huge another thing. You know what I mean? Like, I've had a lot of people come in and then just stab our backs and leave. Like, it happened a lot over and over again. And so Hosa's now done with, like, Hosa's done with human interactions mostly. He was always done with it, but like, and Steven's kind of immune to that kind of stuff, but like, I've found that, okay, this is how people are. now I got to be a lot more careful. And I think of being afraid of rejection is what's really stopping me. Also, that's what's stopping me from making new content. Is like, okay, I've already quote unquote succeeded in the YouTube platform. What if I try something else that would fail? I don't want to fail. Failure sucks. I don't want to look like some dude that could only, it's one trick pony, you know?
Yeah.
So like it's all these things that's kind of prevents you from taking the next step, I think. I don't know.
I agree.
Self-reflection.
It's really scary. No. It's not even. It's like I think every single person has got that, because obviously your creative drive. Like, I do not intend to make these videos for the rest of my life. You know what I mean? Like sorry, audience. You know, if you expected that, but
Darn.
Yeah, but it's like I've got all these other ideas, and it's definitely the same way. I've tried and experimented with other forms of my channel, and they have flopped completely. You know what I mean?
Like rapping?
And it's just like, no. Jesus Christ, no. No, it's like the Laddi that I did, like the Laddi.
Oh, I like that video. I also like your the mayo proof. I loved mayo proof.
It's like there's so many videos that I like. I love, like I love making those kind of silly little videos, right? And I really enjoy that, but I think I just need to kind of not do those because they don't do well. So it's like, well, if they don't do well, I guess that's that,
Right.
I guess that's just how YouTube is, in general. And I guess if I would incorporate animation into it, maybe it could succeed a little bit, but who knows, right? Yeah. Like, I don't think people want to see my brown bearded face.
I mean, listen, man, I feel like you could pull it off just because I've seen how much time you take in editing those videos and like how well it's kind of done. Like, from beginning to finish, there's a point to it and there's like a overarching plot to it, which I feel like it was really well done. And I feel like, just like PewDiePie, when he first started doing different stuff, people really rejected it. But then, like, if you're good at it, which I can tell you're good at, if you keep on going with it, I feel like it could pull off. But at the same time, are you willing to invest the time and the chance for it?
You're so sweet, Daniel. No. Thank you, guys. No, like, listen, like, I'm when I say it's not gonna work, obviously the results speak for themselves, but I do also have other ideas that I want to try and see how that goes, Like, one of them is definitely going to be like a voice chat animated,
Hence this podcast, right?
Yeah, I'm going to animate this entire thing.
There's conversation going on right now,
yeah. Nice.
But it's definitely like, more attention for the podcast channel we have, but also we do share a lot of funny stories here. That's I guess, like, any story that you have is always going to be funnier with a bunch of friends around. Always. Like, that's and you've definitely tapped into that mentality, right, of Danplan, which is like, it's like legit. Like, one of my best stories is the murdering my duck one, and it wouldn't have been funny if I recorded it alone. It's only funny because I recorded it on a podcast, it's just like,
what was that story?
Funny, guys.
Yeah, man. I like the I like the warm feeling. I think that's why I got into YouTube, is because, like, I first experienced that warm, fuzzy thing in my stomach when I watched other YouTubers when I was in, like, first year of university. I'm like desperate, stressing out about finals, and then watching a YouTube video, put that away, and I wanted that feeling to last. And I think that same feeling comes out of friends talking to each other. I was like, yeah, that's probably, man. Yeah, you're right.
I think that's called a high, Daniel. I think you're getting high, Daniel.
Yo, speaking of high, it's legal in Canada.
Yeah, it's legal in Canada.
Listen, I'm not gonna judge. Once I like marijuana is the least, like, damaging thing compared to alcohol and smoking cigarettes and everything. I do not care.
Yeah.
The way, also, like, you said, okay. I don't want to prod too much into this, and just say no if you don't want to answer. But, like, you mentioned you've been stabbed in the back a few times. So does that mean you've recorded episodes that hasn't been released because of just, like, stabbed in the back, or what?
I mean, yeah, we have recorded things where it Yeah, we definitely record. So, tea. So,
Maz loves the tea.
okay, so we've recorded things with people that I will not name
Right
because,
now,
I don't like drama at all. That's a lie. But yeah, we recorded things and then later we couldn't release it because we got into a fight or things didn't work out and they seemed to be very negative about the whole video or they promised one thing and they didn't deliver on their part, so it forced us to not deliver from our part. Stuff like that. You know what I mean? Just
Right.
little things. And usually we're okay with it because we're just like, whatever, it's just a recording. But sometimes we almost finish a product and we can't release it because they won't let us. And it's like, oh, dang. All right. Which kind of
Damn,
sucks.
Daniel.
Yeah.
Well,
Trust
that
issues, man.
does suck. Well, the thing is, once again, I do not know who you invited, and so I can't comment. But it's like you don't have to invite new people to the community. Like you're like I know you're like not into like the community servers and stuff like that too often, but you're well known in the community by all of us animators enough to the point where if you did invite any of us, we would be like, sure. I don't think any of us would say no to Danplan, you know?
I would.
Yeah, how dare you say no to Danplan?
This is the great Daniel, okay?
You're talking to me here, all right? Have you seen our subscriber count? It's up there.
Have you seen my orange, okay?
Who I am?
Like, but the thing is, yeah, like I'm almost certain that if you asked anybody in the community, we would be keen as hell to.
I mean, I'm down for another episode. That was like really fun.
Wow, Laddie, look at you flexing. Like,
Plug.
Plug.
Laddie just wants another episode, guys. Hashtag vote for Laddie.
Don't do it.
Well, it's really great though. Literally in my live streams, people will come to me and be like, "Hey, Laddie, I found you through Danplan. I really hope you guys do another episode soon." And I'm like, "If they ever wanna."
Freaking, who's the one that decided to go to university last second? Yeah. No, the one thing that I wanted to do for a long time is a mega collab with like 20 people. That's a dream project. I don't know if we can ever pull it off though.
Daniel, let me tell you something, and I think your channel is the one that can pull this off.
I know, right? And it would be legendary. Oh my god.
Well, the thing is, why don't you just do instead of like a 20-person collab? You know, why don't you just do that,
oh my god,
you know?
dude, you kind of caught
That
us
would
red-handed.
be amazing.
That's what I
No,
was,
that would be it.
yeah.
Oh, is that what you think? Ah!
That's you caught me. Oh my god. Dang.
Exposed.
Wait.
I'm sorry.
This is one thing that can't go out. That's just the one thing.
No, okay, veto that.
Veto that.
We're gonna just bleep that out.
That's
Just
the
bleep
one
that out.
thing. It's because it's a secret project, and I don't want people that we haven't invited to get salty about it. You know what I mean?
Right. So, just, yeah, bleep that out. It's fine.
Dang.
I can't believe I got it in one.
Oh my gosh.
What I miss? I left. What I miss?
Nothing.
No, yeah.
Nothing.
Nothing. Don't worry about it.
Watch it in the
No, but, like, the
podcast.
thing
I'm
is-
sure it'll go up there.
Yeah. So basically, you're gonna be the one to do. And I think your channel is the only one that can handle that. Well,
Yeah.
not even handle that. It's just if your channel did it, it would make complete sense. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? Like I don't think anybody would go off.
I think it's waiting to be happened. I think it's waiting to happen. And
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say what the project is, and no one can even imagine what it is, right, Maz? No one can tell. But we're already in the process of it. Everything's
but
ready
the
to
thing
go.
is, like,
yeah.
when I say it feels natural, I mean like there's an idea that I have, which is like I know a fair few people in the community. I want to organize an animator only kind of YouTube rewind thing, you know?
Oh yeah.
But the problem that I always get into is firstly the music. You know, I just don't, my music knowledge is just not great. And so, but I do have some friends in the music genre on YouTube, like Rumi Official and Jonas the Frisk, who are very experienced with music. So they might be willing to do that. However, the thing that I always get into is like, where do I upload it, you know? And it's like, I can upload on my channel, but I also know that a few of the creators would be like, oh, like they'd be like not be okay with that. And it's like, what? Right? I can like, why are you gonna ruin it? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not doing this for the clout. I'm obviously not gonna write featured TheAMaazing. You know, like obviously I'm not. I'm like it's like with everybody, and so but with you with this like project. it makes complete sense and it's natural for it to be on your channel, right? It's like there's no part of it that's like, oh, this is unnatural or weird. This is like exactly what you do, just on a bigger scale.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's man, such a dream.
And now that you have like a team of animators, how many people do you have? How many people do you have in your team?
5, 4.
Five?
4. Had to fire one person. 4.
What? Whoa! Why?
Whoa!
It was nothing to do with no drama with this one. Just it didn't work out. Like their
Drag him, Daniel. Drag him.
their style of animation didn't match our style.
Yeah, sure. That's fine. So it's basically 4 people, and so you probably could put all 4 in this like mega thing, and
That's what I want, but I also don't want us to all of a sudden disappear for 3 months and we're back. I really I'm not proud, but I'm kind of trying to keep up this weekly upload schedule going. So I don't know. It's gonna be hard to balance the two.
well, why not just expand your animation team? Why not just?
We're looking for more to hire, but I just can't find the right person.
Hey guys, if you're watching this podcast and you're an animator, go ask Dip.
Did you know we
Email
did
them.
an official audition, and over 500 people applied, and we had to go through each one animation and had to pick out like 10 out of them, and I'd do an interview and then pick the 5. And
Why did you pick just 10? Surely it was more than that.
We're really picky. Yeah, because all 3 of us had to agree on a person, right? I had to like him, Steven had to like him, and Jose had to like him. We didn't interview them if only 2 of us liked them. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Good.
I think it might be time to be a little bit more lax. A little, just a tiny bit more lax about it. Like especially if you want a good team.
Yeah.
Because like the interesting thing about your visuals, obviously your 3 opinions important because you 3 are the leaders of the Danplan. But I'm sure the visual, like as long as you 3 personality are present, the visuals don't have to be the spickest and the spannest.
Yeah, I agree. So oftentimes we've let a lot of things slide in some of these videos recently with our animators. Like they're awesome. Our animators are absolutely fantastic, but like it could always be better, right? Things could always be better. So I don't know, man. I don't know. There's so many things to improve on with our channel, and there's so many ideas and so many opportunities. I just feel like I don't know why I'm not doing them. That's fine.
Isn't that the funnest part though? Is like the fact that like there's always room to go up.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's why I love working on my videos. It's like the newest one, everyone's like, wow, it's so good. I'm like, no, it's not good enough. And so I just keep working and just keep working and keep going, It's
That's right.
the best freaking and then I'll be in the YouTube rewind. and then I'll be the one like Will Smith. I'll be Fortnite dancing.
Oh.
Okay?
Oh my god. Fortnite.
Dude, with you, like, okay, actually, I didn't go back to it. Sorry, podcast. But you mentioned that you want to live in a group of 20. Is there like any specifics about who you want to live with, or is it just going to be like random people?
Will Smith. Should be Will Smith.
There's no specifics. I don't have enough connections to be like I can be picked. Like it's for me. It's like I want, of course, people with different skills to be on there so that I can be like, I don't know how to Photoshop this photo. Is there somebody in the house that can? Oh, look.
Wow, what the heck? You're selfish as hell.
Well, no, I just want it to be like a vibrant community. Not like, I don't want it to be 20 animators, right? I want it to be like
That would be
maybe
a nightmare.
5 vloggers. Well, whatever, right? But yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like Team
I don't know,
10.
man.
This is exactly Team 10, bro.
This is exactly.
Why
Team
don't you
10.
just join Team 10,
Oh
dude?
my gosh,
Like-
man. Yeah, I just want to be team. I'm actually kind of jealous of Team 10 and the low gang. You know what I mean? Please accept me.
Send an application to join.
Hashtag
Hi,
low gang.
my name is Daniel. I have an orange. Please accept me.
The orange needs his own room, please and thank you.
Please. It's just like one tree in the room. It's like that's it. It's like the orange tree.
Hot dang.
Oh my god.
Yo, So
be-
what about
that'd
you
be
guys?
something
Don't
to
you guys have like big projects in mind? I know. Sorry,
Oh,
I'll say that again.
Rush does.
Oh yeah. I always have. I
Rush.
love doing big projects.
When is it coming out?
Oh, whenever we get the art, that's when we'll get that
Oh
done.
yeah. Okay.
So never.
Never.
Yeah.
Never.
When
I'm sending it to the boys. I'm sending the video to Mr. Boy to send it to another boy, to look at it.
okay, good.
They're gonna talk about it and they're like, "Yo, this is."
It's weird that I know exactly who you're talking about. So basically, he's just working on that secret. What about the other secret project for a bright-haired individual with a deep voice?
Oh yeah, that sexy boy. Oh yeah. It's almost done, and it's gonna be epic. I can't really.
It's gonna be epic.
It's gonna be epic, family. Yeah. I live streamed it. It's the Markiplier animation. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I was like, what?
Yeah, he's working on this big animation for Markiplier.
I've been working on it. It's not the greatest. It's okay.
Ooh, Markiplier.
It's
Yeah,
an okay
yeah.
animation. It's not the greatest. Don't get too hyped.
Rush is like
Markiplier are best friends.
Rush is known as like the animator, like the in the big leagues. It's like
Yeah.
James is an animator. He's a Dabs, Markiplier, Game Girl. Just like this animator.
Jeez,
Look at
man,
this
Rush
dude.
is on it. He's on it, man. I remember
in that
watching
class.
Rush's videos in Well, I don't know if it was some animation video on Markiplier's channel. I'm like, man, this is so good. And then it ended up being Rush's, and I was like, oh, jeez, man, this guy.
I know that guy.
This guy's on it.
Oh, thank you.
Getting that clout.
Yo,
alright?
have you ever
Always
chat
getting that
with
clout.
Markiplier?
Texting
He
wise.
wishes.
Texting wise.
Texting wise. Oh, my
Yeah,
God.
yeah. And
He'd be like, oh, Markiplier. He'd be like,
Senpai, notice me.
Man.
He just like walks into Markiplier dressed up as Markiplier. like, Senpai. It's like, oh gosh.
At VidCon last year, I was like, Moz, can you message Markiplier for me to make it sound good? And he said keen. I'm like, I don't say keen.
Well, listen, I say keen.
Yeah. Like, who says keen? I'm not Australian.
I started accidentally saying Keen sometimes.
Yes!
Just because, yeah. I've noticed, I've caught myself, and I was like, oh, I've never actually said Keen before, but I just did.
Yeah. I've been saying devil's advocate sometimes. It's like, saying devil's advocate, and it's like, wait a minute, I'm not Maz.
Good. And when you get to the point where you guys are saying whilst, that's what I know. That's what I know. You guys have reached maximum Maz.
Just a couple more years.
Oh,
Dude, just become Australian.
I'm got Maz.
What's up?
Speaking of VidCon, listen. Next year, I
Uh-oh.
just want to be in a big crowd and just say, like, you know how like you want to finish a sentence? It's like a well-known sentence, like. So I'll be out in the middle of the crowd, all right, and I go, damn.
Right. And everyone says,
Daniel?
Hosa? Is that what you want?
Yeah.
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 That's how it goes, right?
No, because
Damn, Hosa.
I think I triggered my brother when I did that once. I just said damn and just sat there and quiet, and he was like, Daniel, like 5 minutes later, like he was getting triggered. He's like, I need to say it. I can't not.
But I also want the okay, sure. The good side would be if you did that, everyone says Daniel. The bad side would be if you yelled damn in the middle of the crowd and no one does anything. Like they just look at you like a loser.
You're just like,
Like this guy.
Who's this loser?
well, who do you think he is?
Are you going to VidCon, Mr. Dan of the Plan?
I haven't bought the
Oh.
tickets. I don't want to go without Hosa and Steven, but they haven't done a face review.
Well, don't say that you're those groups. Just say those
I
are my
didn't
random
do
friends.
a face reveal really when I went.
Yeah.
And, like, there's several people that like went to VidCon and didn't have a face reveal.
Yeah.
But like, it was fine.
Yeah.
And you don't need to you don't need to let everyone know that you're Danplan.
Yeah.
Like I met a YouTuber in VidCon Australia. He's like super big, but he didn't tell anyone, and he didn't write his username. He just walked around having fun, met his friends. You know what I mean?
And when I was walking around with Laddi, I was talking to people. It's like, Rush, can you sign this? I'm like, yeah. And then Laddi says something. It's like, are you Laddi? It's like, yeah, I'm Laddi.
Yeah, that's how people would recognize me. They'd come up to Rush and then they'd hear my voice and be like, "Wait, are you Laddi?" And I'm like, "Yeah,
Yeah, I'm Laddi.
it is me."
But Hosa's so introverted. It's ridiculous.
Aw.
He can't handle.
It's okay.
My gosh, man. Hosa's so exactly like his personality on screen. It's kind of weird. He's so introverted, but he's so messed up at the same time. So like,
I mean, if you think about it, so is most of the animation community, though.
That's true.
But like when we were all together, it was nice.
Yeah, and I'm not introverted, so it's like I like talking to people who are introverted because it's just like I can talk to people. Also,
but
I
you
want to cook with
can't.
Hosa.
Haha.
I want to talk to Hosa.
Hosa.
Sorry, I want to cook
Hosa.
with. No, I want to cook with Hosa.
Oh
beat
my
him up.
gosh. Hosa would love to
Legit,
cook.
legit. I want to be at VidCon and I'm gonna cook with Hosa. I really want to do that.
We're gonna
Yo,
cook.
man, he
I
would
love
be
cooking.
Thrilled.
I love cooking.
Me and Steven have
Yeah.
never let him have the satisfaction of cooking, like with friends.
Why?
Because I don't like cooking and Steven's an ass.
He's a donkey.
Yo, Steven's also really accurate to how he portrays himself on screen.
Well, I mean, that's good.
But he's really also, I don't know. Steven's a tsundere. That's what it
Yeah,
comes
yeah.
down to. He is.
Yeah, he is.
Sounds like my kind of man.
No, but I really want to cook with Hosa. I like cooking a lot.
Really? Oh, you like cooking?
You need to cook.
Heck yeah, I love cooking.
Nice.
Cooking's fun, dude. Cooking's just like maths except with food, you know? It's so good.
Whoa, you like cooking? I like eating.
Yeah.
I like,
We
oh,
should
yeah.
get together
yeah.
one day and like eat and cook.
You know what I was really jealous of? That house thing that you guys did in VidCon.
We're doing it again.
Hosa, that was one of the most fun things ever. I'm not even gonna lie. That was fantastic.
Love it.
Right.
You're invited
There's-
to hang out. Just
There's a
saying.
thing there's a thing that not many people knew about, which was that our house was so big that we invited all of the animators over to our place, and we had like 50 animators at our one place. Like some were outside the patio having good chat, some were inside playing Smash, some were inside in the kitchen having good chat. Like everybody was split around the house, just having a good time, you know. And I definitely get what you mean about the warm fuzzy feeling, because like having everybody there in person is like changes your life, dude.
Oh my gosh.
I want to go back.
If you want that, like literally, if you want that warm fuzzy feeling, VidCon is definitely the time to do it. That's like the place to do it, dude. It's gonna be epic.
I gotta buy myself
you
a
just got-
house.
You gotta go for it, man. You gotta go for it. You gotta just go to VidCon.
Peer
man.
pressure him. Let's go, guys.
Just hang out with us. Literally, we had people who just hung out with us all the time. Like who weren't even staying in the house. They just come over.
Yeah.
We'd be
How
like,
was
"Okay."
it? How was it like meeting fans?
Insane.
That's surreal, dude. We were like just barely in the line getting our tickets on the first day, like before VidCon was really happening, and Rush got recognized immediately, and we were like, "What?"
Yeah, and I was like
It was-
excited, so I took a picture with him. I'm like, I'm your biggest fan. It's like, no, I'm your
I tried
biggest
taking
fan.
a picture. Yeah, I tried taking a picture with everybody that wanted a picture with me, so I could like remember them if I see them next time.
Oh, so you took a picture as well?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cute.
it's like a little bit. Well, it's cute, but also a little bit aggressive. Like, you gonna take a picture of me? I'm gonna take a picture of you.
Exactly. I think it's a fair exchange.
It is a
The
fair.
thing is, it's so crazy because like, obviously I don't think too highly of myself. Like I know I play up a narcissistic character, but obviously that's what it is. It's a character. I don't really think that. And so when I went to VidCon, Australia, which was my first VidCon, and I had like what 60,000 subscribers. It's like a fair amount, but it's like nothing too extravagant, right? And so I walked around and people like recognized me, and I had this one girl who cried over seeing me, you know, and it's just like. I know. I didn't realize I was so ugly. No, but it's like she was super sweet and super nice, and like I just couldn't believe she was just so happy to see me that she started crying, and I was like, "Dang, you know, like that's insane to me."
Yo, but
and
from
then
the
like
outside person looking in, it must be so weird. Why is she crying? What happened? What's
without that, you know what's even weirder? I was vlogging, and I like she walked up to me as I was vlogging, and I vlogged her crying. It's
Oh,
like,
no.
it's yeah. So I've got footage of her just crying. just crying.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's for me.
Yeah, it's bad.
Oh, that happened to me at the animator meetup.
You
One-
cried?
Someone cried.
Oh.
When they saw me, they're like, "Laddie, I didn't know you were gonna be here," and I was like, "Oh my god, don't cry! Oh my god, I'm gonna start crying." Oh, it was crazy.
So yes.
I think it's just I keep forgetting. Like, okay, like I'm sure you have this, Daniel. It's like we have this big number, right? Like attached with the sub count, but it doesn't click how much that is. You know, like it's just like 700,000. You know what I mean? It's just like whatever. It's only when I went to like VidCon Australia as a feature creator like this year, and I had like a meet and greet of people waiting in line to see me that I was like, oh my gosh, what is this? You know? And I was standing along the same row as like Swoozy and Hannah Hart, and I was like, what? What?
Swoozy? Oh my
What?
gosh.
I was standing there, like we were driving on a buggy together, and I was like, "What is happening right now?
One
like,
of us.
where am I?
One
You know?
of us.
Yeah, one of us." Yeah, and so it's like that. It's real. It's really crazy. And I still think of myself as a dude. So afterwards, they're like, "You want to go back to the buggy so you can take the secret route?" I'm like, "No." And so I just walked out into like the off the stage, and I walked into the crowd. Like I literally, like I was like, "Nah, I don't want to do that."
Like, say
and
that,
so I
man.
just like. And I like that a lot. And it's just like, and VidCon US is going to be even more wild though, because it's like the animation community is like
Really prevalent.
gets destroyed.
Yo, animation
Yeah.
community is in. Like they are like the animation genre in YouTube is in. Like it is a rock
Yeah.
solid genre now.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think about it now? Like, what do you think about it now? Because I've got my own predictions and stuff. What do you think about it?
What do I think? I think what's gonna happen is that it will evolve into a sub genre, not only a genre of its own, but people will start making sub genre of, you know how like vlogs was a thing, and then people started doing their own versions of vlogs, and then that got into their own. I think that's what'll happen is like it'll trickle down into this tree line of different type of animation content, which I feel like our channel is one subcategory of animation. We're not really like Storytime animation.
No, that's true.
Right?
Yeah.
So like that's gonna happen more often. I feel like people are gonna do what we do and take it with their own, you know, little spice and make it their own thing. I feel like that's inevitable. That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yes. What's your opinion?
So basically, you feel like it's gonna be like they're gonna subdivide and find their own niche area.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Within the animation branch, right? Animation tree.
Yeah. Wait until 1 year. Sorry, Laddie, go on.
Oh, you're fine. I don't need.
I'll wait until 1 year because I've got like I'm sitting on a gold mine that I'm just like, please let this community be alive in 1 more year, and then I can like unleash this amazing gold mine. I'm like holding on to this nugget, which is like I'm not afraid of saying it because literally none of you can copy it.
Okay. Say it.
Which is
Say
that
it.
like stories from a real doctor, horror stories from a real doctor, and it's like all these medical stories and all these terrifying moments, which I love saying in real life, but I can't say it because I'm not a real doctor yet. So when I'm a real doctor and I graduate, then I can be like stories from a real doctor, you know. And it's I'm the only one who can do it because sure there's a lot of doctors now on the platform, and sure there's a lot of animators, but there's no one who's the both, you know. There's no one who's both. And so it's just like
Ooh-wee.
wait for
I'm gonna get my doctor
That's
degree
gonna be
just to get you.
interesting.
Who knows, dude? It's like, once again, I'm just excited, you know, all these new projects that I want to do. I just want to keep doing. I just want to do them, you know. I just want to do
Just do it.
I know what you mean, man.
I want to turn into.
I wish
like,
I wasn't so
want-
lazy all the time. What do you want to do, Laddie? Sorry.
Me.
it. Big
Oh,
mood, dude.
You say, dude. I want my channel to turn into something that's like completely improvised. I like doing improv a lot. I'm not the greatest at it, but like I have the most fun. Like when I record audio for people, like things just come in my head, and I'm like, "Lol, this is funny. I'm gonna say it." And it's like I love it. And this next video I'm working on, I just sat in front of a microphone and poorly explained airports after going to one only once. And like I've had the best time animating this. Like I've never like enjoyed making like content so much. I'm really excited.
You should name it like Laddi Explains and then dot like semicolon airports. You know, it's just like make that into a series, right? It's like so airports are, you know, it's just like it's the greatest thing ever. I like that idea a lot. I love that. That's great.
Yeah, and then eventually, oh what?
No, go on.
Oh okay. Eventually, I want to like do a little live stream thing and like people I want to, you know how like actual improv things are where it's like you give a prompt and then they're like, okay, I'll act this out. I want to learn how to do that and I want to animate it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I think that'd be real cool. That's a really cool stance. I like that a lot, Laddi. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I just want
I hate it.
time.
I think it's a terrible idea.
Terrible.
Well, you don't have to like it. Tap on the haters.
Excuse me, Daniel. Laddie's not gonna be in your house anymore.
Oh, no.
Oh yeah, you're not invited.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
You're not invited to VidCon anymore. Sorry.
No.
You know what, Laddie's not gonna be on your videos anymore. You know.
Yeah,
Be
so I
Laddie.
don't want to be in another Danplan video ever again.
You're here, folks.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, but I'm so excited.
Yeah, it's like all these new ventures and everything. I agree with you though, Daniel. It's like I think the way people will stand out now is either to create a new unique persona that people will latch on to for the Storytime animation, or I agree, like find another alternative. Like, and I think it's already begun. You know, you're saying it's gonna happen. I think it's already started. So like you obviously you were like way early. You weren't to start. But I think the few of the animators that have popped up recently, the most recent ones that I can remember being Emirichu, Sultan Sketches, and Illuminations, right? Like Emirichu, like usually the persona is like ha ha ha, comedic, makes people laugh, but her one's just bubbly and positive. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, I'm gonna do this, and here you go. You know, it's like really positive, really wholesome. And then Sultan is providing this narrative-driven, dramatic content instead of the typical happy-go-lucky content. And I think it's also working pretty well as well. And Illuminations, she's speaking out about a lot of really hard-to-deal-with kind of forefront things, more serious topics, which I don't think a majority of the community talk about. And so she's delving into new waters there. So I don't know. I agree. It's already starting that people are trying to figure out their own things, you know?
I wonder, like, would there ever, like, a combination of an animator and gaming channel? Like, I wonder if there's, like, a Let's Play / animated thing going on.
Oh.
Well, isn't that what Game Grumps and Oni-G is?
No, I meant, like middle of the, like, video, animation or something, or a skit will happen. Middle of, like, the gameplay. Like, you'll be improving something while playing a game, and then, like, an animation pops up while you're improving in the game.
Oh, there you go, 100K idea.
Guys, everybody who's listening, to steal it.
Just steal it. Please steal it.
Oh no.
I don't know, man. But the thing is, once again, the only thing that's stopping all of these is, you know, our own laziness.
Yeah, man.
But also, like, animation just takes so long.
Yeah.
It just takes a long time.
It's like an investment. You just gotta work.
Yeah, it's such a man. It's so hard because like animation, I don't make animation, but it takes so long that like it sucks for anyone that owns an animation channel that wants to has so many ideas but they just can't do all of it. It's got like if you have more than 4 ideas, it's like a year project all of a sudden.
Yo.
Yeah.
I have like 4 ideas, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna last until March. Like, it's so sad it's so sad. I'm like, please, let me do this.
Let me in.
Let me in.
Yeah, let me in. You know, I love Eric Andre.
But I feel like what animation channels are kind of getting ready for is like the podcast genre. Because they're so used to saying the same lines over and over again and like trying to find the best way to talk. And they're so used to not having a face and just talking that they could probably pull off a podcast pretty well, better than a vlogger might.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say better than the voice chat podcast. I'm like,
So guys, subscribe to the voice chat podcast.
So this is when we
We're
plug in
better than
the
all the vloggers.
plug in the Patreon again. This is what supports animators to
feeds
do
my
different types
hamsters.
of content. What do you guys offer in Patreons?
a hug.
Like early access, secret behind the scenes bloopers and stuff. Also, we're trying to figure out a ways that we can get patrons to listen on a podcast live, like as it's happening, but not be able to interrupt it. You know?
Yeah.
So like a
it's
secret
like-
Discord.
Yeah.
Yeah, secret
Yes.
Discord server
Or like
where you can listen to
And
it.
then we'll just mute them and just have them like just sit there. So when we say racist stuff, we can't cut it, and I'm like, oh, there they said it.
We had to be super careful.
Yeah.
Don't you hate it when Rush is racist,
Yeah,
guys?
yeah. I'm a bald, tattooed up guy. Dang, he's ugly.
What the heck? Where did that come from? That's your own. That's your own insecurity,
That's not
bro.
racist.
Oh my God.
How long is your podcast allowed to be? Because I really enjoy this talk.
No, like whatever. It's not really like we're not gonna cut it when it hits the certain
Right now.
I
amount.
don't know.
No,
That's
no
why-
I know we're
more.
in the middle of a really great conversation, but the podcast needs to end.
Yo, that's
right
how
now.
we do it. Like, if it hits the 30-minute mark, when it's just the three of us, I'm like, okay, stop talking. I'm gonna end it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Blah blah blah.
Oh no.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, because
Why?
like I feel like if the video gets too dragged on, it's almost it's weird to condense it down to 10 minutes. Either we were gonna have to make a part 2, which we did for RPG, or we're gonna have to make it chunky, almost.
Chunky.
That's what I found over the years.
Is that what we did? Is that
No, that was
can't
back when we
remember.
had no clue what we were doing, and we only recorded one audio and did it through edited with
we
Discord.
recorded
audio.
on Discord.
Yes. Believe it or not, Laddie, that's when we had 2,000 subscribers, and we were really scared about
Yeah, I
the
was
whole.
small too, lol.
Yes, but you were
Lol.
still a big boy in our eyes. We're like, oh my god, look at Laddie.
Oh yeah, totally.
Legit, I don't even think of you as big old you're Daniel in my eyes. So if you do
Yeah.
want to have any of us in, it's like, who cares,
Same
you know?
here.
Not me.
It's like the same old boys.
Not me, Rush. I feel bad.
I hate you. You're the worst. No.
Listen, I'm glad you guys are open to it, because in my eyes, I always want something more. Like, as much as Hosa and Steven are great, I feel like we have so many untapped personalities, in like a TV show of Friends, right? There's 6 very drastically different characters, all contrasting each other, all becoming this magnificent big ball of comedy because they have different personalities. And I feel like we can do more than a tsundere and a shy cinnamon bun and a weird generic main character. Okay.
Oh no, Daniel.
I'm the protagonist.
That's right. I put my name on everything. That's all I
It's not Hosa plan for a reason.
The real main character is just the orange.
do. Oh, jeez.
I want the orange to be like canon,
Yeah.
like
I do. I also want it to be a canon, but I also want it
cannon?
to be,
Like shoots things or
oh my gosh, a sub-series. I want to do a lot of sub-series. I want to do Zombie Apocalypse Part 2, Part 3, Deserted Island Part 2, Part 3. I want us to be in different worlds where, our RPG is like a Part 1, Part 2, Part 3, and it's going in that story, and we are a swordsman and blah, blah, blah. But I also want a different world where we're like, oh, we all have guns and we're mass murderers on this world. And in this world, we're trying to be really, really nice and not kill anybody and just try to survive. And I want us to be like characters in different TV series almost. I feel like that's also really, yeah.
oh, cool.
no, I like that idea. It's once again, it's like what do you call it? Friends,
Yeah. I feel like we can pull it off. And I feel like each series could have a new person for the whole series. You know what I mean? Like,
have you watched Harmon Quest?
yes, I've watched Harmon Quest. I've watched it.
And it's like that. I love Harmon Quest, and it reminds me of what you guys do if you had more guests. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
the three of you being constant. Why don't you do something like that? You know, like an overarching story with changing characters.
I don't know,
Legit,
Maz. Why
don't you?
aren't I doing that, man? Like, why aren't I doing any of these things?
You're right.
These are all like $1 million. Not $1 million. These are all great ideas. I just feel like,
Yeah.
why aren't I doing? Like, even the 20 collab thing. We're ready. We're like, yo, we made a whole board game for that. It's a board game ready to go. We're not inviting anyone because we don't want to commit to it.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dan, are you
I'm
dead?
not talking anymore, am I?
Dan?
Oh,
Dan?
lag.
Nah!
Hi, this is the time where I intro.
Daniel
Go
died.
check
Like-
out
like-
youtube.com/danplan. I know. I don't know how
There you
you're
go.
gonna
I
edit this, but you know,
will
just I'm talking to
remember
myself because
you.
my VC.
All right,
disconnected.
so guys, we should
blah,
just
blah,
make our own.
blah,
Like, you know,
blah.
me, Rush, and Laddi, we can make our own damn
Yeah,
plan.
what can we call ourselves? The Panland?
Bet you do.
The plan, Dan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello.
we're gonna-
By the way, we're the voice chat plan, Dan.
I'll be the Sundere.
Yeah.
I'll be the Cinder, and then Laddie can be
I'll be
the shy.
Steven.
What? Rush is, can we all three of us just be Steven then? Just three Stevens.
Yes.
Baka.
Steven plan.
Whilst we're waiting for Mr. Daniel to not die, I just want to give a huge shout out to everybody who's given us fan art. You know, so here's the fan art reel.
Welcome back, Daniel.
Daniel.
There you go, Daniel. Do you like the fan art on the screen right now? Do you like the fan art?
I don't see it. Send
It's
some.
scrolling
but
across
Dan-
the screen as we speak.
You missed it.
Yeah, it's.
Nani?
gotta play along.
Oh, okay. Yes, of course. Oh, all right. Oh man, I love being on VC Podcast. It's the best podcast I've ever been in. My
Thank
gosh,
you.
guys,
That's
make
right.
sure you subscribe to VC Podcast and Maz from TheAMaazing and Rushlight Invader, the best animator, and the Laddie, the one and only, the
Rushlight
cutest,
Invader.
almost 100K subs. Make sure you click that notification bell.
Wow.
Okay, I'll put down the gun.
You're getting money backstage. But Mr. Dan, so you like hypotheticals, right?
I love hypotheticals, man. It's my I love them.
Well, what is your what would you have a tattoo of in the future?
Ooh. I never thought about getting a tattoo. I don't think I ever
Hypothetically,
will.
what would it be?
Hypothetical. Oh, jeez. If I was sub to Danplan, I don't know.
That's on your arm. As like a trans stamp or something like that.
No, the link. I want the link on it.
Just the URL.
Jeez.
What about the logo? Not even the logo.
No, the freaking. Oh, the Danplan logo.
That is
Oh,
a
of course.
nice logo.
Yeah, that-
I love that logo.
I like that logo too. It's some sick logo. You know, I don't mean to brag, but I'm gonna. Oh
Who
man,
made that logo?
From crowdmade.com/Danplan. I think it's the best logo ever made.
Shut up. Who made that logo? Anyway,
Oh, I made the
Daniel.
logo.
Who did that? Dang.
You drew it?
did a good
Oh
job.
my god.
Really?
I designed it, and I was like, yeah, this is what I want.
Oh, it's so good. I was in a patron call. My patrons cough. I have a call with them every other like Tuesday. Sorry.
Maddie, you alright? Calm down.
Yeah. So we were talking about merch, I guess, and then we started talking about Danplan merch, and everyone was just like, "Oh my god, I love Danplan's merch. I love their logo," and I'm like, "I know." Goals.
Me too. Oh.
I started getting all choked up about it because.
But
Yo, man.
I'm crying right now talking about it.
So beautiful.
but since last podcast, guys, I have a tattoo now.
Ooh.
Oh.
We can show it on screen now. Send a picture of it, Rush. Send a picture of it right now.
Okay, I'll just link my Instagram later. Yeah, I got you. But
Yeah.
I have it's an anime sleeve, so it's Naruto and Shenron on it right now, and then Gurren Lagann Exodia. And when I get this tattoo, people are gonna be like, "Wow, that guy's gonna die alone." Freaking weird.
Womp, womp,
Dude, it's
womp.
alright. The thing is, I think the tattoo looks real cool though.
You know, my grandma's like, "No more." I'm like, "Listen, grandma, you don't understand. I'm gonna get my face. My face is gonna be covered.
Your
Are
face?
you really gonna do face
No,
tattoos?
of course not. No, I'm gonna get
I
tattoo
was
of
gonna
hair.
say.
I'm gonna
You're gonna
my
tattoo
scalp.
hair on your
Yeah,
head?
yeah. Just like I'm Fuzi tube. I'm gonna do that. Yeah.
Oh my,
Oh my gosh,
Fuzi
dude,
too.
that's-
What happened to him?
He's insane.
He went to a manic episode and did and said a lot of things that he shouldn't have.
A manic episode?
Yeah, he's got bipolar disorder, which is characterized by going into depressive episodes, which is obviously, you're demotivated, you don't want to do anything. But also going into manic episodes. It's like a seesaw. And so a manic episode is when you feel like you're on top of the world and you're like too much energy and you can do anything and you are like the most invincible person in the world. And a manic episode is one of the most not dangerous, but the most debilitating thing you can do is because when you're in a manic episode, you start ruining your life because you think you can do anything. So he ran the entirety of FuziCon in a manic episode. Like, think about that. Like, normally, I wouldn't be able to run a con. And he organized one and crashed and burned it in one manic episode.
He was like promising rappers that won't even be able to make it. Like, yeah, Drake's
Yeah,
gonna be here. It's gonna be great.
It's
And it's like I've heard of people who, like, when they get into a manic episode, they buy like 3 houses, and then it's
Whoa.
like, why did I just spend literally all my money on buying this? And it's like, well, too bad.
Yeah.
Too bad.
Too bad. So sad.
Well, it's like you can't just return a house. Like, that's not how it works.
Yeah.
I would like to have the receipt for this.
Sad. I don't know. It's like I look at him and I'm like, oh man, what's happening, dude? You okay? Hey,
Yeah, I worry
It's
for a
sad.
lot of YouTubers,
Maybe just
especially
it's
people
like-
that do
I-
like YouTube as a like dating, like if YouTubing their relationships. Like that must get to your head after a while.
What do you mean?
Like those people that does couple channels.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, like yo man, that must be wonky. I can't imagine doing that with my SO. Like it must be
Wait.
so weird.
What are you? Wait, you're not single?
No, I'm not single.
Oh,
Dang,
That's not.
I was gonna make
knowledge.
I was gonna make the joke that what about you and Hosa then?
Oh,
but then you
Feels
you
bad.
named,
No, I
you
did.
named somebody else.
We broke up
And I'm
last
like,
year. Him and I aren't.
Ah,
Oh
Maybe
Dang.
who knows? You might get back together.
God.
wait,
She's
is he gonna
just the
listen to this?
rebound.
No,
She'll
she
come
won't
back.
listen to it. My girlfriend doesn't.
What about him?
I mean, it won't listen to.
I'm saying. Okay, I know your girlfriend, but what about Hosa? Will he listen to it?
Oh no, they're all too busy. They don't care. Okay.
Aw.
Steven doesn't even watch our own videos. He's not gonna watch them. Did you know
Damn, dude.
Screw you, Steven.
Steven doesn't know like how many subscribers we have or like how like what's going on in the channel. He doesn't know anything. He just
Do you pay him? do you give him any?
of course he gets paid, right? Of course. Now that we're making money.
Press X to doubt like that. Of course,
Of course, man. Of course.
course.
Jeez, come on. We're not gonna be slave drivers. I mean,
News on Drummer Nation.
no, we.
Daniel, do we have 1,000 subs? Yeah, go! Shut up, Steven. Get back to it.
So we made $2 this month, and we're gonna split that to 3.
And I think we're gonna split between $1 me and $1 Hosa. Sorry, Steven. Like.
Better luck next time, man.
Oh my gosh, dude. Like, YouTube's now your job, bro.
Yo,
Like,
that's so weird. It's so weird. That's so weird. It's so.
Dude.
I thought it would cure my laziness, but it didn't. Which is like.
it makes it worse, dude. YouTube makes your laziness worse.
It makes it so much worse. I've been playing PS4 for the past 1 month and not doing anything else. Oh my god.
Dude, I get it, man. Like, every time I reward myself for being productive by playing Mario Odyssey. I've been playing Mario Odyssey like a champion, dude.
I
It's
love
so
that
good.
game.
Is it a good game? Is it worth
I never played it.
Oh, it's fan.
Dude, it's so good.
Oh, let's see.
Like, I don't want to spoil
I wanna
anything, but I'm on
replay
I'm
it.
on the moon. I'm on the moon.
Oh.
Oh, you got the tingle. You got the little twitch going on.
Yeah, I'm glad that I don't want to drag this on too long. But another thing that I'm pretty glad with is that we were kind of hating on Haste, the community, like the internet was hating on Haste 3,
Mm-hmm.
and then they come out with 3 back-to-back solid videos, and I'm like,
They're so good. It's so hard because I really liked the videos.
And I feel
Yeah,
bad for
it's like-
for JonTron though. My friend, you were my friends.
Yeah, it's like, okay, now, so basically there was an 19-minute long content cop style video by Gokanaru on Haste 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you watch it and it's fantastic. It's a great video. Like, it really, really well made, really well researched. You can tell that he put a lot of time into it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so after that, I was like, oh, I don't know how I feel about Haste 3, it sounds like, all of that just kind of paints a real negative picture.
And the next podcast.
But the content is still good, man.
So good.
The content is still good.
But
I was
I like how
watching their video about Rewind yesterday, and I was laughing so hard. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Wait, what did they do? I was so out of the loop on this one. What happened with H3H3? Why are they getting a bad light all of a sudden?
It's just like a lot of hypocritical things that they're saying. The fact that they took a long break and then they came back with a mobile ad. The fact
Picking
that
on people.
they're kind of picking on people and making them say things that they don't want to, picking on people based on subscriber count,
making a grown
picking
man
on people and
cry
tagging-
about alcoholism,
Yep.
promising things that
Yep.
he shouldn't, and then he just like slowly gets in depression mode. I'm like, oh, this
That's hard to
Then-
watch, man. I forgot it.
the ending just made me like, I was like, oh no.
Yeah, that's like, it's a hard video to watch. Like, I'll link the video in the description. And
Yeah.
I'll give it to you, Daniel, if you want to watch it.
Yeah, I would send me the link
legit.
because, man, like,
It's really interesting.
But
It's a really good video.
In the next podcast, H3H3, he's like, yeah, I know about this. I'm sorry. Like, he like apologized. It's like, I liked your video. Your video was good. I apologize for everything. You're right. And he's like, I will be better. Like, so he responded to the guy who made this review, and it was pretty good. I was like, yeah, step right in the right direction.
Video vigilante.
There you go. It's a solid video.
So,
All
do you guys
I think
ever
that
fear
should be-
review channels?
Oh, do I fear review channels?
That's a legitimate question nowadays, right?
What spurred this on? Like, what are you afraid of review channels?
Well, like, I don't know. I don't know if I am. I don't know how I would handle the situation if that came along. You know what I mean?
I don't.
Would
I
I?
don't feel like I have. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no. Go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, I don't feel like I have a reason to be afraid of review channels, cause like, if you're a genuine person, your actions will speak louder than whoever's reviewing you's words. Like, unless you're actually like doing some shady stuff, like And then if that, like, all the review will be is just like criticizing, like not like giving you critique, and I'm like, yeah, it's good, I want it.
yeah, but I like it to be understandable. This is YouTube. You can't just wait 3 months to post a well animated video with backgrounds and crazy stuff going on by yourself.
Lol.
So you would need you would understand some of the criticism, but you'd be like, man, I understand that I need more lip syncing backgrounds, but hey, I need to get this video out or I'll be left in the
That's
dust.
true. Yeah.
Right.
Like that's why I like to do side projects with more well animated segments. I'm just like, yeah, I like to stretch out my abilities once in a while, but I don't like make a whole story time based around those abilities. I'll be crazy and
Yeah. Yeah.
I think if we ever got a review video, I'd just let Steven handle it. Like, let him make a whole video on just reacting to it. Because he can get away with anything. Yo, he can get away with so much bad stuff if he wants to.
Yeah.
His persona has become just he can say whatever he wants. He can say the N-word. He can just say whatever, and people are like, oh, Steven. Oh. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's so weird. I wish I had that personality because it's such a easy personality to have. It's like having a negative personality, you know, like, and then if you're positive once in a while, people are like, oh, it's so good, you know. But if you're positive, if your personality is positive, you have to keep that. And if you end up being negative once, then it's like game over for you. Oh, that guy, he was faking his positivity all along, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
rant.
it's
Anyway,
all good.
No. I get it.
No.
I'm not too afraid of review channels because like if like there's two outcomes. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
it's a good review and it actually does help me, improve. Great,
Mm-hmm.
that's good for me. or it's a bad review. And if it's a bad review, and by definition of what I mean is like one that has either lack of good points or is just a poorly made video, then it doesn't affect me. That's it. That's the only two outcomes. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not too afraid of review channels at all.
No.
Yeah. Me neither.
Cool.
Yeah. That's just like that. Like a good question, but that's just how it is.
Yes.
Dab on the haters.
Dab on them.
All right. Once again, thank you so much for the patrons. That's on the screen right now, specifically Origami.
Love you,
we
Origami.
love you.
What did Origami do?
They're a super
Folded paper.
Yeah. No, they're a super patron, so that's why. All right. Thank you so much for watching. I think we might wrap it up now. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much for coming along, Daniel. It was like incredibly fun.
Yeah,
it was a lot of fun.
An honor.
So sexy.
An honor to be on the voice chat. All right. Thank you for coming. All right. Later, everybody.
Bye.
All right, bye. And logging off now.